substantial pillow. Yes, that one seems to me to have about a handful and a half of feathers at each end, without anything whatsoever in the middle.
Anything to accommodate you, Mr. Cox.
Thank you.
Why, you've had your hair cut, sir.
Cut! I've had in mind that I should swear an oath that I won't ever have my hair cut again. I looked as if I was cropped for the army.
The army? I recollect when I was in the militia.
Ah, now he's off in his hobby.
Yes, in those merry days, yes, in those brilliant days, we gathered our laurels and rode on our bays. We gathered our laurels and rode on our bays. I mounted a horse in Her Majesty's force as one of the yeomen who beat with the foemen for then an invasion.
Loss of my candles, wood, sugar, and my lucifer matches.
You surely don't suspect me, Mr. Cox.
I never said I suspected you, Bouncer. I only wish you to distinctly understand that I would not think it is the cat.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and one more thing, Mr. Bouncer. I also wish to know why it is that I frequently find my apartment full of smoke.
Well, sir, I suppose the chimney, sir.
The chimney does not smoke tobacco, sir. I'm speaking of all the tobacco smoke.
Oh, sir, the man who's got the attic, sir, he's hardly ever without a cigar in his mouth.
Ah, so you're telling me that this man's smoke, when it should emulate all other sorts of smoke and climb up the chimney, thinks proper to effect the singularity by taking the contrary direction. I suppose the gentleman you're speaking of is the one that I invariably meet coming upstairs whenever I'm on my way down, and always seems to be on his way down whenever I'm on my way up.
Yes, sir.
From the appearance of his outward man, I would unhesitatingly set him down as a gentleman connected with a printing interest.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Stay, bouncer, stay. To me it has occurred that now's the time with you to have a word.
What can he mean? I tremble, oh, I tremble.
Listen.
With pleasure.
Not my coals alone,
or by this cruel toe,
but other things as dear as they to me, which in that little closet I carefully deposit. In them a sure and gradual loss I see, until the case the poet was expressed, small by degrees and beautifully last.
Ah, yes, the case the poet's words express, small by degrees and beautifully last.
Small by degrees and beautifully last.
Ah, beautifully, beautifully, beautifully last.
And now, Sergeant Bouncer, I beg to announce you, for there was an occasion as this had best would. Whatever my coals and these things go by wholesale, items of herbs, candles, tea, sugar, and corn.
Mr. Cox, my feelings overpower me. That his lodger, his friendly lodger, should once suspect that Bouncer is
A dodger.
as who takes your coals, wood and all that. It must have been.
No, no, 'twas not the cat.
Got a plan, I'm a military man. Honest I am, but honest. And as to the cat, the treacherous cat, the cat in the army's fallen.
Got a plan, he's a military man. Honest I hold, though it doesn't appear. And as to the cat, the treacherous cat, if it isn't in the army, don't have it here.
Run a plan,
Run a plan,
run a plan,
run a plan,
run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, run a plan, arrive before Mr. Cox had gone out. Luckily, they had never met, for Mr. Box is busy working at a typewriter's office all night and doesn't come home till the morning, and Mr. Cox is busy making hats all day and doesn't come home till night. So, I am getting double rent for my room, and neither of my lodgers is the wiser for it. It was a capital idea of mine, that it was. But I had an instant to lose. First, put Mr. Cox's things out of Mr. Fox's way. Now, look at the key where Mr. Cox always leaves it. Now to make the bed. Now, don't let me forget that what's the head of the bed for Mr. Cox becomes the foot of the bed for Mr. Box. Oh, and the idea of Mr. Cox complaining about a pillow such as this.
Associated with the hat interest.
Yes, sir, Mr. Box. And by the by, Mr. Box, he begged me as a particular favor, that is, that you would not smoke quite so much.
Did he? Oh, well, you may tell General Hatcher, with my compliments, that if he objects to the effluvia of tobacco, he had better domesticate himself in some adjoining parish.
Oh, Mr. Box, you surely wouldn't deprive me of a lodger, now would you?
It would come to precisely the same thing, Bouncer, because if I detect the slightest attempt to put my pipe out, I give you warning that I shall give you 2 weeks' notice, at once.
Yes, sir, Mr. Box. Do you want me for anything else?
On the contrary, get out of here. Now, let me see. Got a rasher of bacon here, and a penny roll. The next using is to light the fire. Well, this is too bad, Bouncer. This is several degrees too bad, Bouncer. I had a full box 3 days ago. Now there's only one left. Now, I should like to ask any unprejudiced person or persons their opinion touching this meager little candle. First of all, it is an article that I don't really require because I'm only at home during the daytime. But secondly, I bought this candle on the 1st of May, which is the feast of St. Joseph the Worker, St. Theodore of Narbonne, and St. Bernard of Avonay, calculating that it would last me approximately 3 months. And here we are, barely at the feast of St. Paschal Bailon and Blessed Russell Graf, and the candle is 3 parts gone. using my gridiron and my coals. The last article of consumption was a pork chop, and now it is powerfully impregnated with the odor of red herring. How sleepy I am, to be sure. Hushed is the bacon on the grill. I'll take a nap and close my eyes. Soon I will be nodding, 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 singing la 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 la. How shall I make on the cold top till I awaken? There you will stop. How shall I make it on the cold top? La 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 gentle bacon, smoke on it, with circling up, smile on the front. While I am nodding, 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 knit, knit, nodding, 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 singing la 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 la.
Fully conscious of the fact that I was 11.5 minutes late, I sneak into the shop with considerable excitement, and my aged employer, with a look of extreme kindness on his aged countenance, says to me, "Mr. Cox, I shan't want you today. You can have an holiday." In celebration, I bought a mutton chop. Oh, good gracious, I forgot the bread. Hello. What's this? A roll? I declare, come now, that's lucky. bouncer. Now then, for the fire. What? I left a minute. I'll swear an oath I did. Why, the fire is lighted. And where's my gridiron? On the fire, I declare. What's that in it? Bacon? It is bacon. I declare, there is such a quiet coolness about Mr. Bouncer's proceedings, it's almost amusing. He takes my coals, my matches, and my frying pan in order to cook his own food by. I can't stand it. Come out here. Out. That's more like. Now then, for my taste. Come in.
I wonder how long I've been asleep. Oh, my bacon! What's this? A chop. Bouncers, I'll be bound. He thought to cook his breakfast while I was asleep with my frying pan and my coals. Where's my... Here's my bacon. Shall I curb my indignation? Shall I falter in my vengeance? I think not. Sorry, sir. This is right. Now, to lay my things.
Hello? Oh, my chop. What? The bacon again? Zoom! Confound it! Excuse me, sir, that is not the second time. Yes, 'tis the printer.
Yes, 'tis the hatter. Yes, 'tis the hatter.
Printer, take a hinter, leave the room or I shall I vainly struggle with the fight, where the raging fierce desire. Whom do you
Hatter, hatter, cease your clatter, leave the room or else shall I vainly struggle with the fight, with the raging fierce desire. Go. Hatter, hatter, cease your hatter, 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 take a hatter, 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 take a hatter, go. Hatter, hatter, cease your hatter.